Battle control initialized.
Hey people, Five Faces here, and the game that I'm about to cast today marks the return of one of the most influential figures in the competitive scene from like 2 years back. He was considered the high paragon of trolling, and he also was considered a very strong 1v1 player, someone who has popularized the APC meta back in the day. I'm talking about Spy. He's not playing as a Russian faction or as a Soviet faction this time around, though. He's going for as France. And his opponent is Printer. This replay got recommended to me, so I'm pretty sure that Printer is gonna be able to stand his ground and hold up to Spy here. Keep in mind, Spy was basically AFK for 2 years. And I can smell Gren cheese already, okay. This is gonna spice things up a bit. This strikes me as a 5 Gren build. Yeah, 5th Gren just exiting the barracks here. And that's smart, a couple rifles to screen. You never wanna have the Grens dive in head first, because they just get picked off super easily. Meanwhile, we don't have a base defense for Spy. He's going for I think that's a double ref, let's see. Double ref for both here. And Spy's a bit behind on the 8-ball already. So we're gonna see he's just taking a safe backwards capping pattern. And maybe gonna have to be called back to patch up the Conyard if there is some major damage being inflicted by the Grens. This is so good though. What Printer is doing here is trying to pull out the defensive structure, is trying to force Spy to deploy the defense. Oh no, he's not even bothering. He's just straight up going for the barracks. Oh my goodness. This is brutal, so no more defensive structures can come out here. And all the Grens survive. This is amazing. Only technicians spawning from the damaged power plant, so that's no production for... Oh my lord! Spy's in a pickle here. The double barracks double ref hasn't been scouted though. Okay, he's pulling the goalie, he's making the ultimate sacrifice here with the MCV. Gonna try and get some nice crushes in with the Grenadiers as well. So essentially, this should get cleaned up in a bit, but he's super behind here. Spy is on a double ref and nothing else. He is earning so much more than he can produce right now. He's floating 5k, he doesn't have power, it's looking very bleak already. Let's look at the basics here, yeah. 45 under 0. That's not the spot you want to be in. But not just quitting yet, not quitting just yet. Hey, there's an angry mob forming. That's a storm of technicians approaching. What's the correct term? A flock of technicians? A murder of technicians? I don't know. We're gonna figure out. And this is dire straits for Spy, who is already struggling with the power situation. In comes wave 2. And I just don't see an easy way of holding this. Because the barracks are going to be targeted as soon as they come up. Yeah, okay. Engineer on defensive duty, he knows he might need it here. That's smart though, he's pulling a harvester and trying to get some forward scouting. Immediately selling his 3rd refinery. Interesting. Probably needed it for the anti-infantry pressure there. Needed a couple riflemen very badly. Okay, barracks is popped. And oh my goodness, that's another power plant down. If he finds out about the barracks, I think it's game. My lord, this is so obnoxious. He's out of power again, so he's producing super slowly. Printer should abuse this. He knows that there is not much else here. He scouted that the Conyard is deployed up down south. But don't count Spy out just yet. It's sitting at a comfortable 30 actions per minute here. So he's still not feeling as pressured as I supposed he would have felt. Going for a double power... Nope, not a power plant. He really needs the backup power right now. Oh my, what an early game. In comes the 2nd wave of pressure, and behind this is very smart. Printer is doing the smart aggression strat, because behind this, he has already gone up to 4 harvesters, he's teched up, he's got a war factory, he's got a service depot. And what does Spy have, conversely? Not much to his name. Like, he's building that's a 4th refinery. Keep in mind, he didn't have a war factory in forever. He was just not able to get out of war factory, so he was forced into building 4 refineries without a single war factory vehicle. That's pretty bleak here. And Printer just walling off the expansions, just sending a couple infantry squads in, for the pressure. This gets cleaned up. But this doesn't mean that Spy has stabilized just yet. Oh, the precious rockets. Oh, that's so bad. That sucks for Printer. He had nothing to reinforce with. Okay, also, that's pretty cool. Spy just sent his free technicians that he got from the ref cell. And he sent them pretty much everywhere. Let's see, he even got a scout of the base off. He even knows that there's a service depot. I mean, that's something you should assume from your opponent at minute 5:30. But then again, you don't know how much he has invested into aggression. So finally the war factory is up for Spy, who is in a bad spot. He's in expansion down, he's harvesters down, he's down in army size by a large margin. But in comes the first ranger. That's literally the first vehicle he's produced. Oh, and it's immediately gonna die in it. Nope. Gets a scout off. Gets a good read of the base off. Sees the timing for the Conyard. That's the second Conyard though. So if Spy thinks that that's the first Conyard going in, he's gravely mistaken. Yikes. That was a bit brutal for an early game. How's that for an early game, guys? Oof. Okay, we're starting to recover here. Light tank transition for Spy. He wants some fast radar units. He wants something that can deal with mobile armies because he simply doesn't have the pressure to get scouts up anytime soon now. And Printer has deployed a macro refinery. Okay, this is something I would have done in reverse order. I would honestly have gone for a macro refinery in the backlines here and then fortified the frontal position because that's like the only point my opponent can attack in. If I place a scout here, ooh, okay, finds the refinery at least. But that's all she wrote for the ranger. Also, it had... yeah, it had the engineer on board. Unlucky. So yeah, just a quick little tip. If you are finding yourself in a situation similar to a Printer, what you want to do is deploy a macro refinery here, put a scout here, put a scout here, and then there is no way your opponent can escape with his army and like sneak around the backlines. And then you just fortify this position. That's like the only position your opponent can ever attack in. At least on this side of the map. Okay, we're having 2 light tanks. That's 2 light tanks. Come on, Spy. That takes forever to even kill off a harvester. It's like scratching the paint job off. That's not as big a deal as you might think. Yeah, and this is not applying any pressure. Printer is just sitting back on his 3 bases here. What a position for him to be in. What a time to be alive for Printer. Spy has at least opted for radar tech. Hey, Tesla coil popping. So goodbye light tanks. You have outlived your usefulness. Your brief window of usefulness. Very good, also sending a tank hunter squad. Just sending 2 rocket soldiers, because, you know, it's just a light tank. You don't need to overcommit. Okay, so the artillery pressure is on here. And that's what I was talking about. He should have fortified. Printer, for all accounts, should have just fortified this position with a couple Tesla coils, maybe gotten tech up, something like that. A little something here. Yeah, nice scouting work from Spy, who has, by the way, been a StarCraft master. He's played Masters in StarCraft for a very long time. I don't know if he still plays it. But a very crafty RTS player regardless, so, you know, he's a player worth his salt. Who knows when to pressure and when to quit. So yeah, that's one of the expansions taken back by Spy. But he's still not in a great spot. He's still down an expand... Oh! Nope, he's down 2 expansions. Never mind. Let's I stand corrected here. And the first 2 Hinds are out, so he can swoop around the battlefield. I honestly think that Printer should have gone for an earlier radar dome and maybe for an earlier... what's his cash situation? For an earlier Yak. Just to scout and find the army that's coming in. Oh, that's poor micro. Spy should use his APM to actually focus fire onto the... Yikes! He should actually focus fire onto the Hind. Onto the rocket soldiers with the Hind. Instead of just letting them die. Like this. Okay, so we've got a base push situation here in the south. Maybe Spy... Yeah, he's got forces overwhelming. Should be able to clean this up. Depending on how long he needs to dislodge the Tesla coil. But it shouldn't take very long. if he gets good RT hits in. There are 6 artilleries down south. But this means that there is massive window of vulnerability on the bottom right side. He doesn't have anything to his name in his main base. So let's see. The MCV escaping for now, but there is still one light tank on the flanks here. Is he gonna... Oh, it's gonna seal the deal onto the Conyard, is he? No. Currently idle. Okay, I really want to see. There is a pillbox. But so much infantry closing the distance from all possible angles, and the War Factory is going down. Immediate sell order. Okay, at least the MCV escapes for Printer, so not as bad. Not as bad as it could have been. Oh, and in comes the attack move from all different angles. The approach vector is pretty good. Still though, there are a couple hinds in there. Okay, this is gonna do a couple... Oh, this is doing a lot of friendly fire damage. Is Spy on low power right now? He isn't. Yeah, so that was not worth it. So, an interesting factoid here. Printer hasn't built a single combat vehicle this entire time. I don't know what his production was like. Oh, that's a free MCV, just ripe for the pickings here. That's Miss Micro. He's finally gotten some Yaks up, needs to target fire. Target fire the artillery down. Yikes! That's a bit too close to the sun there, Icarus. Another strafe coming in though. Should finish off the last 2 artilleries. Nope, one survives. That's bad, because now the ore refinery is gonna go down. Just a little bit better target micro would have saved the Conyard for print. Would have saved the ore refinery for Printer, but he's got the V2. Oh, okay, and the eco line survived. That's actually kind of important. Double War Factory now, and finally we're seeing heavy tanks appear. This was just so overdue. Should have gone for he should have gone for heavy tanks a long time ago in a galaxy far away. Like, real talk, that's a bit late for heavy tanks. If they had hit the field alongside the infantry army, this would have been a way more deadly push on the main base. And now we're instead seeing a comeback out of Spy. Jesus. What is this? Heavy tank going down. Yeah. Okay, Spy has stabilized. He's in a good spot now. He's got 2.5, maybe 3 expansions if we're being generous here. And the game has evened up. In terms of the assets, yeah, Spy's killed a bit more, but oops. What I really want to see is how many assets do they have. Printer's still way ahead in assets. He's still in a good spot. He can still easily take this game. But a nice early game recovery, gotta say. Spy, just gotta hand it to the man here. And what we want to see is the basics. 36 APM, you know. That's not StarCraft levels yet. Gotta fire up your 400 APM. Also, the rearming micro of the Yaks has been a bit sloppy so far. We're seeing... Oh, that's good, that's good. He's sniping the ore refiners. You just get out of gun turret range. That's not the way out of gun turret range, buddy. Ooh, so close. But he gets it. That's pretty good. Gotta deny the mining and at least one harvester. That's a really good line of play here. With a super low health heavy tank. Yeah, okay, so there is gonna be long distance mining operation. That's still gonna provide him with some income. And really, Printer should just have built the second War Factory here. Because he needs flak trucks. Oh my lord! Just pull your infantry back, please. That's a misplay. That's a big misplay. Just letting your infantry sit under artillery fire. That's so bad. Now again, all the Yak pressure is gone. There are no vehicles up there. And bottom side, yeah, bottom side, sure, you've got a lot of vehicles there, but there is a massive base defense meat grinder. Don't send your units into this. Yikes! Yeah, just pull them back, buddy. Printer, what you doing? You're throwing the game here. It's not worth it. Not a single unit has gone down for Spy so far there. He's in a fantastic position now. He has successfully recovered, and it was mainly Printer just outplaying himself. Let's be real here. This has been such a low eco game. Look at all the unmined ore. This ore patch is still basically untouched. This ore patch is untouched. There's a lot of to harvest here. Here, this is unharvested. Yeah. Lots of early pressure usually leads to a very skewed ecograph. And he's trying to find the angle. You need to outrun the rockets. If you're doing this, oh, that's bad shift micro. Usually, what you want is to shift target all the artilleries. He could have had that for free. He could have gotten all those snipes without losing a single yak if he had just kited outside of rocket range. Rockets also have like a max tracking range of what, 8-9 cells, and if you just steer clear, yaks are so fast and their turn rate is so incredibly high that it's actually not that difficult to pull off. Yeah, that's a massive throw here for Printer, who's also lost his Conyard. Demo truck though. All right. He's losing another yak completely needlessly. I really don't like his yak micro that game. Also the vehicle distribution, those two war factories just don't do anything here. Spy's pulling back. I think he's seen the demo truck. Has he? Alright, prepare for blast off. Lots of infantry surviving though. It's like semi worth it. Oh! Please don't do that. Please don't run into AA gun range willy-nilly. Yikes. And that's a you know what? This Badger pilot is just an asshole. It's just like, yeah, I'm gonna drop you over this massive cluster of enemy forces. Have fun, guys. Yep, you're having fun out there. Rip. Ripping pepperonis. Eddie. Honestly, it's more about the vehicle distribution here. Yeah, another Conyard coming in. Resupplying. And Printer is always just letting his infantry sit around unattended, without any beach shield to soak up damage, without any scout, without any screening. Yeah. This is looking to be a bit dunzo. Big throw. And he could have had this game easily. Oh, also the yak micro has been a bit atrocious, gotta say. There's a MiG. Maybe the MiGs are better. And that's the first APC. Like, buddy, you could have gone for APCs way back. In the early mid game, APCs would have been an amazing investment. Amazing investment here, and also a Tex error would have been in order. Now we're having to deal with 8 Hinds. Like, realistically, you need a flock of flags. He's trying to find the angle onto the artilleries. What? Oh, he cancelled one of the missiles. Unlucky. Oh, that's so painful. He should at least turn around. Like, MiGs, that's what they're made for. They're made for just fighting around an unsupported artillery, or just finding unsupported artillery, V2s, or maybe even tanks, maybe harvesters. MiGs can't fight around bases, but they're amazing at picking apart armies. And this would be just freebies. If he micros this correctly, he could get at least the value of the MiG back ×2. Still a very bad rally point. As we can see here, maybe that's a scout though. Nah, doesn't look to be a scout. Okay, he's finding a point-blank artillery. Well, that's something. Nice freebie here. They're gonna try and kite into flame tower range because the flame tower, for whatever reason, has been cleared out. That's good. But look at the top side, there is such a massive concentration of forces, and the only thing that would help you here are parabombs, but unfortunately, still 2 minutes and 30 to the parabombs, so yeah. Let's cut to the production tab. Pretty much, that's my go-to tab. Only 2 Conyards for Spy, so he must have lost his original Conyard somewhere along the line. Oh no, he was on 1 Conyard, never mind. Yikes. Lots of damage onto the MiG. Yeah, and he's taking the expansion. He can also actually capture an airfield. Wow, that would be something. Capturing it and gaining all the support powers. That would be the single best move he could do in this game now. But it just shows how much of an RTS player Spy is here. Just not being flustered after an early game full of failures. He just comes back. He just stays in the game, is persistent. And one of the things, I think that was a throwaway Hind just for scouting. One of the things that that Spy is amazing at, he's always constantly scouting. He has sent his civilians into the fray early on. Oh, the MiG! Do something! Yeah, that's a good snipe. Oh, he's turned around just at the worst angle. At least there are 4 flak trucks now. The flock of flags that I ordered earlier. Has somebody ordered a flock of flags here? Oh, no focus fire onto the artilleries. That's bad. Gonna need to kite outside of range here. And a complete wipe. The Heinz surviving as well. Fantastic position for Spy to be in. 50 seconds on the parabombs. Maybe he can wait. Look, again, he's making the same mistake all over again. He's got a solid infantry corps here, but Printer desperately needs flak trucks to back this up. What's he got? He's on 5k float. He should be producing non-stop. But I don't see a vehicle in there. Okay, right now. Finally going for the flags. Yeah, still though, that's a massive, massive mistake here. Texera popping as well. And Spy just in an indomitable position at this point. He's holding 3 expansions. No, 4 expansions actually. My math is a bit off here, just doesn't check out. Printer has just deployed random base defenses all over the map. That's not what he needs. That's not what the doctor ordered. There is an... Oh, okay, he has scouted. Nice, nice. He has scouted the tech center. And the GPS is super close to coming up. So yeah, that's a smart move. The APC with 5 rockets. He should go and harass the eco lines. That would be the best target for him. Sees the massive army. Wow, this Badger pilot is such an asshole. He's doing it again. Yep. The other batch was really successful. Let's have another go. Oh my god, that's like the worst place to be in. What is this APC doing? Run, little APC. You're just gonna get cornered. He's just gonna get pincered here. Oh my goodness. That's a bit special. What the hell was that about? Okay, so Printer should honestly have taken the freebies. There was no infantry presence here earlier. He could have just ran into the eco lines, just unloaded the APC and harassed away the harvesters or killed them in the best case. And that would have gotten him an edge, but instead he opted to completely waste his 5 rockets into a pillbox. Weird decision. Also, unbeknownst to him, there has been another tech center going up. Parabombs! Okay, we finally see them. What's the vector, Victor? What's the vector? Oh, okay, it's shit. The vector is actual trash this time around. No, not even the artillery. That's gonna get like the rockets. No, even the rockets moving away. Oh, one last casualty being claimed here. The rocket soldier. What's he doing there? Like force firing into the civilian village there? No. Yikes, that was just... Okay, that was bad RNG. What is he doing trying to fight around the infantry? I really don't like the Yak micro in this game. This was just a waste. And we've got a solid infantry corps here up right, top right for Spy. Fortified with artilleries, he's now transitioned into medium tanks. Probably going to try and harass the eco lines. Now that everything has dried up a bit, like the only spot that's still... where still something to mine from would be the bottom left. Top right almost mined out as well. There's a Chinook, okay. So Spy just, he's just showboating here, I guess. And this is what you should have done the entire time, just, it's not that difficult. Reinforce the infantry corps with a couple flak trucks at least. Flak trucks can screen against Heinz, they can screen against artilleries, they can dive into artilleries. And that's exactly what you would have needed 2 engagements earlier. Spy also opted for the nuke timer. And there's a demo truck coming out for Printer. Oh my! If he lands the demo into this blob here. Alright, then we're back in business. Like just here. Just send him over top. Would be a bit risky because there's his own army. And obviously Spy's got the GPS up. Yeah. Look at this. He knows what's up. Yikes. He knows that this is basically undefended, sans a couple Tesla coils and the flame towers. So yeah, I can get some really good hits in. And there is... the real big problem here is that there is just not a single... the tech centers here, but not a single tech structure otherwise. Should have gone for an Iron Curtain ages ago. He was so ahead. Oh, donating over a couple flak trucks as well. That's the entire front lines again. And the medium, heavy tank. Yeah, this is just looking bleak. He should have, yeah. He should have closed the game out when he was able to. Okay, scouting range. Ah, that's a nice bait though. That's a really nice bait. Good nuke truck. Making it worth, but this would have been the juicier target. Also, there's Tanya. Just very hard to spot. Oh! Down go most of the artillery. Should go for a second pass. Come on, Printer. Go for a second pass. The V2's wasting their shots. Being pulled back in time though. Okay. At least that's something. 3 more artilleries in the mix here. Come on, join the fray. Into the fray, but no! What is he doing? He scouted the Texer and he scouted an anti-air gun. Yeah! That's so bad. What was he trying to do here? Also that random parachute against the cliffs. Pretty brutal. Open array is a brutal game, folks. Yeah, it is to pull back. Gonna try and engage into the bottom side. Maybe wait it out for the power bombs, like 1 minute and 14. That's actually manageable. If you can hold on for, like, stall with flame towers for, let's say, 120 or something, he could clear this entire blob. Another demo truck as well. Yeah, boys. We're in business. I'm just afraid it's like the wrong choice. The demo truck might look flashy here, but it's just not what the doctor ordered. Oh, it's gonna get caught off guard by the medium tanks. Gonna get a bit of residual damage here. Bit of radiation damage, but hey. Mammoth tank popping up, and the bottom side infantry engagement being decided by the infantry of Spy here. Couple pillboxes to reinforce, yeah. This game is over. This Mammoth tank is not gonna be able to hold its own. Even though the Iron Curtain was up, it's never been fired. And couple crucial mistakes being made here by Printer. So first off, not closing the game out early on. Second off, very sloppy scouting. Thirdly, very poor Yak micro. So something to work on and improve on. Meanwhile, Spy just showcasing his StarCraft 2 talents, mainly that being scouting. He always knew the position of the army. He always knew how the base was structured and layered out. And he always knew where to attack because of a lack of base defenses, from what angle to approach. So, good play, good early pressure by Printer, good early game, but the mid and late game were kind of iffy. And a fantastic holdout and a fantastic comeback by Spy. Glad to see him back in action. We're hoping to have him join the ranks of RAGL, maybe Printer as well, would be nice. Anyway, that's it for this cast. I'll see you next time. 5 Aces out.
Battle control terminated.